Rainy days and Mondays. Ugh, got soaking wet today. Getting some more tools for that Balikbayan box. Before we get to what we scored today, let's look at what we're not going to take. Might take a couple of things out of here. Probably will return with them. No sense splitting up the kit. To give you an example, these bits here that will go with the impact driver. What else do I see here? These are all for metal, so probably going to take a couple of these. And a couple of the concrete bits. I'll take this large one and likely this 1/2 inch and maybe 9/16 wood bits. Everything else that I've got in here, oh yeah, I'll bring the punches for sure. Again, I can bring those back. Everything else that's in the kit is irrelevant for the most part because we will be doing everything with Robertson. But because we took that kit out of there, we have now put that small drill bit set in here. Now, here's what I scored today. As you can see, I don't even have to take that 30-inch breaker bar out of there. It fits nicely in there without having to take it apart. And it will cut 10 mm bar. Okay. And then I got these for the reciprocating saw. These are bimetal, so they will, or carbide, they'll go through a nail. So they'll be fine for what we want to do. And if you remember the saw for the AAC block, it's very, very rough teeth. So my initial thought was to get fine teeth, more of a metal thought in my head, but then I realized the AAC, no, they're using large. Now, because it'll go through a nail, these are going to last. Brought a couple of extras. I got this. It's a DeWalt 1/2 inch concrete drill bit. You can tell by the tip. Okay. That is meant for concrete. And what I'm going to do is I will probably, like I say, bring that longer 1/2 inch with me, and then to pilot the hole to get it started. And I'm going to get to my son. He is a welder, and I'm going to get him to attach another 2 feet. Now this is 1/2 inch. This is equivalent to roughly 12 mm bar. And if I get him to weld a 10 mm on the end of that, I just need it to act as a guide for the remainder part of the drilling. So the organization of the box now is such that all of my hand tools have gone down this side. That's where the drill bit set was, and the socket set and chisel bits and hole saws, and then I'll just bring this small kit that's got drill bits in it. And these are all for metal. Okay, so I'll bring that, and like I said, there's a whole bunch of various tools that I've got in here that I'm going to bring along anyway. Some of this stuff will come back. Ideally, I'd like that kit in the Philippines because we live in a condo here in Canada, so it does not make sense that I have all those bits here. But one trip or another, it'll get there. And of course, the infamous bow saw that we've been trying to order. We have one here. Again, we live in a condo. What do I need a bow saw for? Okay, so that's the scores now. I've still got to get the pieces for the multi-tool to do the electrical and plumbing. But I also wanted these shorter ones. Remember that the blocks are only 4 inch. So these could be used to actually cut rather than hand sawing. And you want them shorter because these longer ones do tend to flex. And so especially if the person is pushing down too hard, you got to let these blades do their work. Don't work the tool, work the blade. And so just like a bow saw, you don't push down on a bow saw. You do, but very, very lightly. It's not like you put a lot of force down on it. Let the blades do the ripping, not your energy. Okay, and then Lynn and I talked about the other stuff that's going to go are some of these sheets. We've got extra, don't have as near a bigger place, and the visitor's bed here is only a twin, so not very much. So we will be taking extra sheets and coat hangers. I'm going to take coat hangers. A lot of the coat hangers in the Philippines are not man-friendly. I'll just put it that way, okay? There's too many little hooks. Like sometimes there's a hook coming down from the top, and I understand all of that, but with larger shirts, it just tends to fall off. And if it doesn't, it ends up hooking on one side. So long and the short of it is, I'm going to bring some coat hangers. Okay, so yeah, so I've got to get a couple of things still. They're small items, like I said, the multi-tool, and oh yeah, and a power converter, because the Ryobi and everything is 110 volt chargers. So I will need a 200 volt to 100 volt travel converter. I did see a couple of online called Beskit, Bestek, and they have multi-port output, and they also have USB port output. And with the noisy power in the Philippines, I think it's time that we do this. I think we risked our laptops too much. And in the Philippines, they call them brownouts, but when the light is completely off, it's black. And you can't see brownouts anymore in the Philippines because almost everything is LED. So you can't see when the power wanes, and maybe it drops down to 180 volts or something along those lines for short periods of time. Those kind of spikes are very hard on electronics. So anyway, there we go. We have got a rainy day Monday. Although right now you can see the top of that mountain. About 15 minutes ago, you couldn't see it at all. Welcome to coastal living.